Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about inventory and how all inventory is not created equal. This is a bit of a nuance that occasionally in our market, and occasionally meaning right now, is really an important distinction to understand because sometimes you'll see inventory rise, and yet we do not end up with the results that we think are going to happen, which is lowering prices despite increasing inventory. Anyhow, let's get started. My name is Stephen Meade with Domicile Real Estate, where we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. And today we're talking about inventory and a changing market that is seeing rising inventory, but not necessarily seeing easing prices. And we're going to talk about why that is. Let's get started and get into it. All right, so let me go ahead and get us back here. If we're looking at closed prices, right, let's talk about that for a second. Our blue line here is our entry level single family home. You'll notice those prices are up. Condo prices have largely been flat. I think that's pretty interesting in and of itself. I tell buyers maybe now is a good time to take a second look at condos because I think you're going to find a little bit more of what you're looking for. And I'm going to explain why I think that is in a second. We go to our total monthly payment. We are still not on our highs of last year. So if you feel like you have missed out, I promise you haven't, despite some of these things raising up. By the way, for a condo buyer, now is a particularly good time to be looking. You're going to see that total monthly payment on that 5% down hypothetical buyer. You're seeing that under $4,500 a month, including mortgage insurance, taxes, HOA, etc. We look at our minimum household income required. This one is always interesting to me because I think it evaluates what type of income is really necessary to own a home here in Southern California. For our entry-level single-family home, right, that is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath across LA and Orange County. We're at around that $160-ish thousand mark, and then we are just under $110,000 on our condo. If we look at our absorption rate, right, this is something that tells us we should have an easing market, right? We're going to see that that is now down at 66% for entry-level single-family homes, 59% for our condos, and yet we're not necessarily seeing that in the pricing. And there's two reasons for that, right? Number one is, are we not seeing that in the pricing because it is delayed? Or are we not seeing that in the pricing because there's something we're missing with inventory? And I think it's really the latter. So if we look at our total inventory, this is a good chance to really talk about things. I mean, look at where we are versus last year. We have significantly more inventory, both for entry-level single-family homes and entry-level condos. But why are prices not falling? If you look at this, you can see that that inventory has been rising really since the beginning of the year. Why are we not seeing prices ease? And well, I think it comes down to this notion of the quality of inventory. And if that's a little too warm and fuzzy to you, maybe a better way to put it is the percentage of sellers on the market who are serious about selling their homes. I think that percentage is at a low level right now. And part of the reason for that is we are seeing a huge difference, right, in market activity between the homes that are going under contract and the ones that are not. So we're seeing the homes going under contract are doing so pretty quickly. The homes that are sitting longer. So whenever we see that disparity, what does that mean to buyers? Well, it means that this is not compelling, right? That many of the homes on the market are not compelling to buyers. And that can either mean that the home isn't what they want or that the price is too expensive for what they're receiving. I think it is a bit of a value problem. And so we've got a number of homes which are on the market, but I'm not necessarily sure those are terribly motivated sellers because they are not willing to sell at market price. Now, there is that other 10 to 20% of listings. Those are the hot listings, the one everybody wants, and those are going in the first 2 weeks. If we look at this percent still active, right, percentage, that is right in the middle of our zone for towards the end of the year, not terribly competitive, right? So why are we seeing prices rise, especially in single family? If we look at our week supply of homes, right, like we are up to 14 weeks on condos. I think except towards the end of the year, that's a pretty big number. If you look at where we are on single family homes, we are at just under 8 weeks, right? That is significantly more than we were at last year. I am not so sure that many of these homes on the market, like I said, are serious sellers who are willing to sell at the current market price for their home. I think they are hopeful sellers. And let's be honest here, I think they are also hopeful agents. So, what does this mean, right? If you're a buyer out there in the marketplace, like, what does this mean for you? Well, it means there are definitely some opportunities, right? If you're a buyer, the very best time to be a value buyer is that moment in time when a seller is ready to get serious about selling their home, but they have not lowered the price yet. I think if you can be the buyer who writes the offer at that moment in time, you're really in the best position possible. If you are an entry level buyer who wants something in particular, well, I've got some bad news for you. Despite the climbing inventory, there is not an overabundance of homes that are sort of hitting that sweet spot where they command the premium prices. I think those ones, there are not enough of those. We are still seeing multiple bids come in on those homes, even at higher price points, right? The ones that everybody wants, everybody wants. We're seeing that concentration of demand. Like I said, I think a lot of it comes down to that inventory quality or seller motivation. I think we have a lot of listings on the market that are of the let's put it up and see what happens variety of listings, not the let's put our home up and get the most money we can for it type of sellers. Anyhow, questions and comments, as always, we love them. Do not forget to like, subscribe, or hit that notification bell. And if you or someone you know should be a homeowner in California, we would love to talk with them, help them, and advise them. So do not hesitate to reach out. Our contact information is below. We will see you again real soon.